gentlemen, the team proposition proposes this House believes that governmental intervention in the market is beneficial. Before we want to proceed on the arguments of the proposition, let me first define some critical words in the motion. We define the word governmental intervention as government responding to the market failures and limiting abuses of market power and improving economic efficiency. And this House believes the word market as any one of a variety of different systems, institutions, procedures, social relations where people exchange products, ladies and gentlemen. And we define the word beneficial as helpful and efficient. And today, the stance of the proposition is regulate for benefits. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason why the motion came into being in the first place is because the government is interested in overcoming information asymmetries with the operator and aligning the operator's interest with the government's interest. Consumers desire protection from market power when competition is non-existent or ineffective, ladies and gentlemen. So, as the first speaker, we're talking about the two main subsisting arguments of the proposition, which is first, moderation, and second, public goods. And our second speaker, Deputy Prime Minister, will come to the podium and will elaborate on the third argument, which is the third, the matter of equality, which is similarly as social welfare, ladies and gentlemen. And our third speaker will be elaborating on our last argument and will be finding clashes that we made during the entire debate, ladies and gentlemen. So, moving on to the first argument of the proposition, which is about the moderation. When the government intervenes in the market, it can moderate such market failures that are happening right now in status quo. The first moderation can be done is to prevent negative externalities. As you know, externalities is the product and the productions that is done without anyone's purpose or deliberation, that is done accidentally. In this case, negative externalities are the products that are produced with harm. Harmful effects are done to society. For example, Corporation Shell, as we all know, oil production corporations, that they have produced a lot of oils and they have contaminated the oceans. What happened right now is that they spilled water inside under the water and leaked inside the water. And what happened was contamination. So what this is are negative externalities that the corporation's intentions, not intentionally doing it, has caused a lot of disaster to society and as a whole, ladies and gentlemen. So these negative externalities can be regulated through the government taxes. When the government imposes taxes on those situations, where the government regulates those situations in those happenstance of negative externalities, they can regulate it and prevent it in the long run, ladies.
Do I, sir?
No, thank you, sir. And moving on to the second argument, which is moving on to the second moderation, it can moderate the monopolization, ladies and gentlemen. As you all know, the monopolization happens. There are two types of monopolization. Natural monopolization, that is when, since there is no much supply and demand, there are less products that are produced. So therefore, one company subdues the entire market, ladies and gentlemen. So in this case, the prices gets really high and the quality of the products get low, ladies and gentlemen. So in this case, the government intervention is needed to help the market be able to sustain its supply as usual inside the market economy. There's also a law called the Law of Fair Trade and Agreement, ladies and gentlemen. This is the law that government has implemented to guarantee that there is no monopolization of a market of a sole corporation, ladies and gentlemen. That is the duty of government in this status quo, to regulate such monopolization. And third of all, is regarding the taxes. The taxes, as we know, now we have the progressive taxes. What this indicates is that now excessive imposing of taxes from the government, excessive imposing of taxes to the citizens has caused many of the side effects. So-called this chasm between the poor and the rich has getting bigger, ladies and gentlemen. However, if the taxes are narrowed down through the regulation of the government, such as progressive taxes, we can alleviate the chasm between the two generations, thereby making a rational society with tax going and paying and receiving the public goods as it used to be an optimal level, ladies and gentlemen.
Sir?
Yes, sir.
What do you think about the possibility of government failure during these government intervention problems?
Ladies and gentlemen, we stated in our definition, government responding to market failures. We did not say government responding to every single area of the market. We're saying when there's a market failure going on, the government's duty is to respond to those failures, ladies and gentlemen. I hope the team opposition understood that point. And the fourth, the moderation part, is the regulation of black market. As we know, under the market economy, there are possibilities of black market happening. So with black market, we do not know whether it is going on or operating if we do not regulate them. So with the government intervention and its regulation, we can guarantee the government will be monitoring those situations, and like with the catch dogs or whatsoever method, they can regulate those black markets happening around the world and being widespread under the market. So as I talked about the first argument, which is regarding the moderation, let me move on to the second argument regarding public goods. Ladies and gentlemen, what do we know about public goods? Public goods are the services that the government provides, such as railroads, subways, and bridges. So these are things that the corporations, individual corporations, is hard to produce by themselves, because in the beginning of the production, it costs a lot of money. However, due to the exclusivity that is not exclusive, the single corporations produces these products, they cannot gain as much profits as possible, because everyone is using it as a free rider. They're not paying enough money for those, so the corporations will not get enough benefits. So what happens is that if it were not for the government, we will not be able to receive the services of the public goods from the single corporation. For example, when our society was building bridges, if we let a single corporation produce this bridge, it will cost a lot of money for us to use every time we want to use. Because for the basis of the starting of the production of this bridge, it costs a lot of money for individual corporations. Therefore, after having built these bridges, the corporations will call for a lot of a high fee or the per gauge fee for the consumers to use these railroads. However, if the government intervenes in this situation to try to moderate such high expensive fee of those using of these bridges, we can ensure that there's a optimal level of usage that consumers can use these railroads, not paying too much high costs. So therefore, the government intervention is needed in some circumstances where the optimal level of output must be guaranteed, ladies and gentlemen. So what we learned from this during all this debate is that there are times when the government responses to a market failure is needed, such as monopolization, negative externalities, and excessive taxes that are now imposed to citizens. And also, government must be able to intervene in order to improve economic efficiency. That is when the situation of providing public goods, when individual corporations, it's hard to take responsibility of producing the public goods for themselves. So we say we need regulation for benefits. Thank you.